So what the heck is happening in Biden's America? Our southern border is being ransacked. Literally, 12,000, mostly Haitians, have raided Del Rio, Texas. In the course of just a few days, the numbers of illegals went from 1,000 to 2,000 to now an estimated 12,000 illegals camping at our Del Rio, Texas crossing. All because the word got out among Haitians that Biden was not sending them home. So Haitian male number one calls 10 of his best male Haitian pals looking for a shortcut into America. And within a few days, you have yet another border crisis. And where was Joe this weekend while the border was being overrun with unvetted foreigners? Well, he was on a beach vacation, of course, riding his bike. Unbelievable. Surely Kamala Harris, the border czar, would be working this weekend as her only job, secure the border, was being overwhelmed. Nah, border schmorter. Kamala had more important things to do this weekend. Oh, there she is, flipping a coin at a college football game. Just listen to all those adoring Howard University fans. She must love it. She should be flipping Haitians back to Haiti rather than hanging out at a college football game. But get this. We just found out that these fools are allowing Haitian family units into America. They're settling them in cities near you. Neighborhoods, by the way, your neighborhood, my neighborhood. Think any Haitians will be placed in Kamala's neighborhood? Think again. The second gentleman would never allow that to happen. No, these illegals would be placed in your neighborhood, not theirs. But let's call it what it is. These people don't deserve a free pass into America. There are some people, the same people, who leave Honduras and Guatemala, trek through Mexico, and that's the tell, through Mexico, and present themselves to America's border claiming political asylum. If they were true victims of political persecution, they'd stop in Mexico, 100%. But it's not about being persecuted in Haiti or Honduras or Guatemala or any number of other countries of origin. But it should be, because yes, we do have laws allowing people who are legitimately being persecuted to find refuge in America. It's who we are. But these asylum seekers must prove they're under death threats and such, which they never seem to be able to do, proving they aren't really asylum seekers. They're American pie seekers. So more and more show up for a chance to get in, and they're not sent home. So the situation deteriorates into another crisis. And Biden rides his bike and Kamala flips a coin. I think it's awful. These people, Biden, Harris, and the rest of the Democrat Party, don't care about you. They only care about staying in power so they can rape and pillage the village being the U.S. National Treasury. And the way they stay in power is by flooding America with future Democrat voters. So far, over 1.5 million have come across the border this year, on pace to break the record for border crossings going back 100 years since they started keeping records. They're coming here in record numbers because they know Joe and Kamala won't stop them. They won't send them back, but they will place them in cities and towns near you. A hush campaign is happening in D.C., folks. The Democrat Party is ever so quietly trying to get a pathway to voting rights for these illegals. Listen to despicable Democrat Jerry Nadler say the quiet part out loud in a hearing last week.
This amendment strikes the entire immigration title and the important investments in our human infrastructure that it makes. Therefore, I urge opposition to the amendment.
If the chairman would indulge me, I'd like to know if he just used the term human infrastructure to refer to the portion of the bill that Mr. Gohmert seeks to strike with his amendment.
I did.
He did. Human infrastructure, illegals. See that? They're trying to call illegal alien crossings the border human infrastructure. See what they're doing? They're trying to hide illegal immigration under the blanket of infrastructure. That's insane. And guess why Nadler said that now? They're doing all this now so they can slide citizenship through the big infrastructure bill floating around Capitol Hill this week. These Democrats are the sleaziest creatures on earth. Now, if that happens, if we let them carve out citizenship and therefore voting rights for illegals, you might as well say goodbye to any conservative winning any elected seat in America, the House, the Senate, or the White House ever again, and say hello to massive spending being thrust upon Americans. They've already given away $6 trillion of our money using COVID as an excuse. And we know they're trying to give away another $3.5 trillion of our money to their pet projects as we speak. But guess who's going to pay for all that Democrat spending? You and me. We 45% of Americans who pay for the other 55% of the freeloaders. That's who. Last year, 2020, American taxpayers, again, only about 45 of us actually pay federal income tax, yet we pay for 100% of the people living here, including all the illegals living here. Last year, we paid more in taxes than all of America spent on healthcare, food, entertainment, and clothing combined. It's got to stop. They want to give everything away. Remember the Democrats, Socialist Bernie Sanders and AOC's demand businesses pay $15 an hour for workers? Oh, heck no. Now they want $26 per hour. Give politicians an inch, they want a mile. Give them $1 billion, they want $6 trillion. That's all they know how to do. Give stuff away and make the people who pay taxes, you and me, pay for everyone. They won't stop unless we stop them. We need to call these clowns out, tell them we're not paying for all their Democrat vote harvesting anymore. Speaking of calling them out, remember that dress Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wore to the Met Gala last week? Yeah, you know, the one right there where she made herself the center of attention again. Tax the rich dress. Sorry, dear, the rich pay most of taxes in America already. But check this out. While her dress called out the rich for not paying their fair share of taxes, which is false, we just learned Aurora James, the designer who made AOC's billboard dress, owes a ton in taxes herself. Amongst other things, Aurora James owes $104,000 in taxes to the IRS. In addition, she has 3 open warrants for other tax violations, and apparently Ms. Ocasio-Cortez's dress designer is a deadbeat tenant as well. She owes one landlord $25,000, a second landlord $5,000 in unpaid rent. Nice job, AOC, you hypocrite. How ironic. Henry, ring the hypocrisy bell, please.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.